Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start reading Old Yeller by Fred Gibson. While we read this book, I want you guys to think about some questions and see how you feel about them at the beginning and how you feel about them at the end, if your opinion's changed, if it's stayed the same. So these essential questions are, what does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to grow up? And are these the same thing? As we go through, like I said, just think about these, and we'll talk more about it later on. So this book is a narrative, which, if you remember, a narrative has a rising action, setting, has a plot, it has a climax. I want you to think about these things as we go through the book, about the different descriptions of a narrative. This book is set in the 1860s, so I want you to think about what do you think life was like in the 1860s? How is it different from life now? Are there some similarities? Do you think people talked differently back then? Now, thumbs up or thumbs down, who remembers what colloquial language is? Thumbs up? Okay. What do you think might have been difficult about living in the 1860s? Would you prefer living back then? Thumbs up. Or prefer living now? Thumbs down. Okay. So, there are some vocabulary words that we're going to need to go through for this book. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about how a couple things are portrayed in this book that might be different from now. So, in this book, Native Americans are portrayed in kind of a poor light because this was the point that they had been put on reservations and we had taken the land from them. So they felt the need to fight back. So in the story, Native Americans, like I said, are portrayed in kind of a bad light. But this is how they were viewed back then. So we just have to keep that in mind. And also, hunting is a big deal back then. And I know some of you hunt now and some of you don't. But back then, it was very important to hunt in order to gain food and meat for your family. Okay, so the vocabulary words we're going to talk about, the first one is a knoll. Who knows what a knoll is? No one? It's a hill. It's just a small hill. Okay, our next vocabulary word is frantic. Does anybody know what frantic is? I know, it's hard to put into words. What it means is like wild with fear or anxiety, so you're frantic. So staves. In this book it says he falls into staves. Staves is like a panic attack. Like completely freaking out. Next word is aggravated. Who knows what aggravated is? That's right. Annoyed or frustrated. Thumbs up if you've ever felt aggravated. Thumbs down if you haven't. That's right, I should see everybody's thumbs up. We've all felt aggravated at some point. And the last word is careen. So that means to move in an uncontrolled way. So a car could careen off a cliff. Say your mom is driving and she hits some ice. Her car might careen and it's out of control. Okay, so we are going to look at a quick slideshow just to look and see what things looked like back then. Just to give you an idea, these are pictures from the movie so that you have an idea on what stuff looks like.